are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the College Loop Podcast. I'm Dylan Able on Twitter here talking about the latest in Auburn athletics news, and I kind of rambled that all together. But yeah, it is Friday, not Thursday. We have the Thursday edition of the College Loop because on Wednesday evening, the internet decided to die on me. So yeah, that's fun. So now we're recording on Thursday night for a Friday morning episode. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this installment of the College Loop as we're going to go ahead and get started with some old news. But Auburn Basketball did, of course, win their game versus Arkansas and by a score of 67-60. In this game, Auburn they struggled in some keys of this game. The largest lead was 9. They won by 7. Arkansas had the lead a couple of times this game. The largest lead was 4. Both teams got a tech, which Arkansas's was earned. I would say Chad Becker-Mazzara's was kind of stupid. Arkansas kept up with Auburn in the paint. They scored 40 to Auburn's 30 in the paint. Fast break points, Arkansas had the 2-point advantage there. Turnovers, Auburn had more turnovers, and Arkansas came back and, it was 2 over on Auburn, 10-8. Blocks, Auburn was not really block heavy this game. They actually only had 2 blocks to Arkansas's 5. Steals, Auburn had 7 to Arkansas's 10. Assists pretty on par with each other. Rebounds, Auburn out-rebounded Arkansas by a lot, 42-29. Shooting-wise is where this game comes down to why is this game so low scoring? Well, Auburn shot 16.7% from the three-point line. Arkansas shot 15.3. 0.8, from the three-point line. And then, of course, for Arkansas, you can really blame one person on why they shot so bad from the three-point line. Zavamir Ivicic played 30 minutes for Arkansas 2 nights ago. He shot 0 for 10 from the field, 0 for 9 from the three-point line, which the dude who's usually shooting like 43% from the three-point line. But, yeah, he was not having it. On Wednesday night or Tuesday night, whichever night it was at this point. But Auburn, on the other hand, I mean, you had 3 guys getting double digits, but after that, there was nothing going for Auburn. Janai Broome, 16 points, 13 rebounds, got himself another double-double. No shocker there. You had Chaney Johnson get 14 points, 6 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals, and himself a block. And the other person to get a block for the last game was Dylan Cardwell. Chad Becker-Mazzara also got in and got 15 points. Chad Becker-Mazzara, of course, hitting the 1,000 career point mark. So shout out Chad Becker-Mazzara having himself an outstanding season. Tahad Pettiford, not the best game for Tahad. He shot 1 for 4 from the three-point line and from the field. Took all of the shots from beyond the three-point line. But assist-wise, led the team in assists with 4, 2 rebounds, and only got 4 points. Got a free throw in there with his three-pointer. Then Tris Moore got himself 2. Denver Jones got 9, and Miles Kelly got 7. Yeah, so it's a very slow night for Auburn scoring-wise. Defensively, it was really good to watch. If you love defensive basketball games, this was the game for you. Offensively, Auburn struggled, and it showed from the get-go. They could not hit the broadside of a barn. It was insane and did get a little stressful, but Auburn prevailed nonetheless. And you see a game like that, you get a little worried with who's coming up because Auburn plays Georgia this Saturday. We'll go ahead and get right into that. Taking on the Bulldogs for the second time this season. Of course, last time these two teams met, Auburn skated by the skin of their teeth. 70-68 was the game there. It was the second game Auburn had without Janai Broome, and they found a way to win. Now you got Janai back. He's sort of healthy. Definitely still a little banged up. And he's got to deal with a freshman, Asa Newell, who is an absolute beast, leading Georgia in both points and rebounds on the year. And, of course, as a freshman, averaging 15 points a game, 6.8 rebounds, basically 7 rebounds a game, a steal and a block per game, and shooting about 55% from the field. Georgia, the team, shoots 32% from the field, from the three-point line. and shooting 40% from the field. So last time we saw these two teams play, of course, Auburn got the win in Athens. Almost forgot it. And they did so with Tahad Pettiford going off. 24 points for Tahad in that game. You also had Jebek Mazar and Miles Kelly combined, or not combined, but both have 13 points. Bad nights from Chaney Johnson, 2 points. Dylan Cardwell got himself 2 points. And Denver Jones got 8 points that game as well. But Auburn shot the ball very well versus Georgia that first time around. You're going to have to do that again. Georgia is ranked. This was another ranked opponent for Auburn. Georgia, the team that's going to give Auburn fits. Mike White tends to do that. No matter what happens, Auburn always finds a way to struggle against Mike White. Would not surprise me in the slightest. I mean, I look down the schedule and I'm just like, I wouldn't be surprised if Auburn lost this one. It wouldn't be surprised if Auburn lost that one. And so on and so forth. Auburn got punched in the mouth versus Florida last week. It happened. Everyone saw it happen on live television. I would say, was it? I don't know if it's primetime television because I moved to ESPN2, but definitely saw Auburn get shown up by Florida. And Florida's a very good team. It's a team I don't want to meet ever again. And so I'm trying to fix my headset because my cord got tangled up. But Georgia is one of those teams, too, that could give Auburn a lot of fits. And they did last time. They always do, especially with Mike White as a coach. Auburn just needs to find their rhythm. Because looking at Auburn needs to keep that number 1 seed as much as possible because you got to have that South region that works out best for them for March Madness. Auburn's currently 2 games up in SEC tournament, SEC standings. Georgia, while 4-9, not a team that I would take very lightly going forward. I mean, this is a team that I fully believe. I mean, this is a tournament team. I'm sure people already agree with this. This is a tournament team that Auburn's playing against. And, of course, they're not ranked anymore. I thought did they lose? Oh, they lost to Missouri on the 15th. I didn't know that. But, yeah, I'd be worried for Georgia moving forward. I think Auburn wins. I think Auburn wins this game. I think they kind of find ways to slow down Newell and Demery and Tyron Lawrence. But it's going to be a tough game. I think Auburn wins. I've been on a streak of predicting Auburn will get in the 80s, which worked out for some games, but not for a lot of them. I'm going to say Auburn gets the win here. I'm going to say 75-70. I think you're going to get another hard-fought match like you saw just a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, I think Auburn gets the win. I think it's close, and I think it's a hard-fought, very tough, blood on the court type win. It's going to be one of those. But with that being said, yeah, so Auburn continues their win streak, in my opinion. Number 1 team in the nation yet again. 6 weeks in a row, which is a record for Auburn, which I believe I think after like 2 or 3, it's like a record at this point. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Auburn women's basketball. They're coming off of their overtime loss to Vanderbilt earlier this week, where a freshman on Vanderbilt put up 55 points. So hard to beat them. Going to make this very quick because, I find it hard to believe Auburn women's basketball is going to have a postseason with how the season's just gone without being healthy. I'm going to pick Auburn to beat Alabama. I'm going to pick Auburn women's basketball and Coach Jay and company, Yu Ting Dong and everybody on that team, Deonna Gaston. I'm going to pick them to beat Alabama strictly because I'm not picking Alabama. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting any analysis into that. I'm picking Auburn to beat Alabama. Simple, quick, to the point. War Eagle. Yeah, because Bama losing is my favorite thing. It's right there underneath Auburn winning. It's Auburn winning, Bama losing. 1, 2. But with Auburn, taking Alabama losing to Missouri men's basketball, it would just be icing on the cake if Auburn women's basketball found a way to upset number 18 Alabama. Which, Auburn has been tough to play against. They are making shots. They're finding ways to win without having their full roster available to them. I think they're going to make it a tough one. If it's not a win, it's a close loss. I'm telling you. Auburn could win this game. and I'm going to give them that. I'm going to pick Auburn to win this game. But with that being said, I'm going to go to a quick little break. We're about halfway there. I'm kind of speeding through, but it's because I already talked about all this stuff to myself, and then my internet died, and I didn't get a chance to actually post any of the stuff I had to talk about because it was all just gone. But yeah, Auburn beats Georgia. I think Auburn beats Alabama women's basketball. Quick little break. Other side of this break, going to talk about some Auburn softball as they get ready, or as they actually did they play their game already? They have not yet. Okay, good. I'm making sure. As they get ready to take on Louisiana State today in the Rocket City Showcase. So get ready for that after this break. And of course, Auburn baseball up next as well. And then rounding out with some Auburn gymnastics. So stay with us, and we'll be right back. Are you tired of having to rummage through just clothes after clothes after clothes looking for something to wear? Are you tired of your friends making fun of you for your terrible fashion sense? Well, do we have the shirt for you? Go to thewarreport.com, get your laptop out and do it right now. Go to the shop and get your very own Feelin' Loopy t-shirt as well as your college loop hat, and you can get both of them for only $25 each. Plus shipping and handling, of course. But with that, now back to your regular scheduled program. And of course, available on thewarreport.com. Go to the second page of the shop and get your very own Feelin' Loopy t-shirt and college loop merch in general. Check out the day. Of course, that's only one way to support the channel. Of course, the best way to support the channel is, of course, by liking, by commenting, and by subscribing. Leave your predictions for Auburn versus Georgia this Saturday. And, of course, let me know where you think Auburn's going to get. Well, I know Auburn's going to finish the seed. Where do you think Auburn's what's your prediction for Auburn in March Madness? There we go. I always ask that one around here. And of course, everyone prepare yourself. The College Loop March Madness tournament will always be on. I think we're going to use the NCAA app this year. I think that's what we used last year. So do that again. Of course, the winner of that tournament gets 2 free tickets to Auburn's spring football game. And I'm believe me, I'm checking the dates every single time to make sure it lines up this year because, oh my Lord, last year it did not. And it just didn't work out. But we sent merch. So if it doesn't work out, you get merch. Which one of the two? Of course, also a merch giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. We're getting so close to that as well. We'll shout out everybody who's been subscribed to the channel. I know it's kind of a dead period in sports. Everyone loves football. But football's kind of hard to talk about when there's nothing going on outside of the usual like saving or taking a staffer back from someone else, which they've been doing a lot of recently. Auburn football has been making sure nobody leaves. Marcus Davis tried to get picked up by Oregon, or let me rephrase that. Oregon tried to grab Marcus Davis, and then Kenyatta Watson. Notre Dame was trying to grab him from the Tigers as well, but the staff is sold on the dream. I'm not saying it like that. The staff is sold on what Hugh Freeze is planning, and that's some good signs. Of course, we'll have more football talk coming up soon because spring practices are coming up, and of course, I got some ideas. Currently working on some Auburn All-Decade teams. Kind of talking about which I probably wouldn't go back too far. I can't tell you a quarterback Auburn had in like 1940 whatever. So I'm probably going to stick to the decades I was alive for, because that means I have more opinions on those than I do before I was born. So yeah, 2000s, 10s, and 20s, which 20s is we pretty much know all the 20 players on the 20s that are really good, but. As we move on, Auburn softball gets ready for the Rocket City Showcase. Of course, they'll be taking on Louisiana Tech today at 2:00 p.m. CST, as long as weather allows. Of course, they already had to cancel one game. They were supposed to be a doubleheader. JMU, will not be able. That game has been canceled. So Auburn only got one game on Friday. Then, of course, Saturday they got Alabama and Miami, Ohio at 10 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. respectively. And then rounding out Sunday in the Rocket City Showcase with Jacksonville State at 3 p.m. CST. Every game will be broadcasted on Weagle 91.1 FM and whatever this site is, Flow College. I don't know what this is. I have never heard of this. Are you free? I don't know if this is free or not. I'll do some research on that. Hopefully, I don't know. I've never heard of this. This is kind of weird that I'm just kind of now showing up to this. I'll make it. I'm not making an account on recording. Of course, I think Auburn's going to round out the weekend undefeated. I think they continue on 15-0 as they prepare for one last Invitational Memorial Weekend Series thing before they get ready for Troy. And of course, SEC Conference play starts right after that. So super stoked for that. Still trying to figure out which softball series I want to go to. Might make a poll just to decide which one. I was hoping Arkansas or Bama would be on the schedule this year, but neither one of those two, even Oklahoma, I'd hope that would be on there just for a chance to get some revenge on them. But yeah, I mean, still trying to figure that out. So Auburn baseball, moving on to baseball real quick, we're out of the Diamond Sports, took on Troy on Tuesday. Didn't get a chance to talk about this at all. Number 25 versus number 24 matchup. Auburn got the dub 7-6. After I believe they had like a 4-0 lead. They were down 6-4, came back 6-6. Then Ike Irish walk-off hit that I can't remember if it was like a double. Brought the base runner around. Auburn wins the game 7-6. Then Wednesday took care of business against North Alabama 6-2. Auburn did, of course, take a dive a little bit in the polls, dropping from 22 to 25 after losing a game out of the Holy Cross series. Of course, up next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you got Wright State, where Auburn. Right now, I don't know why it is like this, but the athletics page for baseball currently has 2 pound signs for this game. Of course, on the mound for Wright State is going to be Samuel Dutton. I've not announced who's going to be for Saturday, and then Chatterton will be on the mound on Sunday. So shout out to those guys. Dutton and Chatterton had some great showcases in their games last weekend. Auburn definitely needs to. I did some more research. Of course, I'm not the most knowledgeable of baseball. I wish I was more. Of course, I will always point to the guys over at Uptempo for baseball talk. For Diamond Sports, my softball conversations, I'm much more comfortable with because I love softball to death. Baseball took me a little bit more to fully get into it. Of course, I do. I still love watching baseball whenever I can, but it's a totem pole thing. My focus tends to go more to basketball, football, and then softball and gymnastics, and then baseball kind of falls into that. But yeah, as far as I'm aware right now, baseball has looked decently good. From my analysis I've been reading on, it's kind of just they're just not playing up to the talent level they have, which for some sports that's just Auburn. I can't lie about that. I can make fun of my own team, but yeah, it's not playing up to par right now. And then lastly, to round out the show, Auburn Gymnastics taking on the Alabama Crimson Turds. This tonight, actually, for Friday Night Heights. This game, of course, will be played in that ugly airplane hangar on the other side of the state. This will be at 7:30 p.m. tonight. Of course, Auburn coming off of a loss to Florida last week, where I will die on the hill that it was rigged against us from the start. So yeah, super stoked for this. This is another opportunity for Auburn to get a win on the road. I think they haven't won on the road in the SEC at all, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, lost to Kentucky and then lost to Florida. So a chance to get back in the win column here on the road, just a chance to win one. Because, unless you count like the collegiates that happened earlier this year, Auburn just needs to have an all-around meet. Yet again, just making sure that you play your best, do your best for rotations on any given meet night. It's as simple as that. Just do your best. So yeah, last week, of course, bars killed Auburn. We're used to saying vaults or beam killed Auburn, but no, this was bars that killed Auburn last week. So got to find a way to get everything going at the same time. And again, Auburn has to put up 49 in every single category if they want a chance to win this game. If not, Alabama can just as easily take this game away from Auburn. And don't want that. course, up next, Auburn's got Oklahoma, and they're currently the number 1 team in the country as far as rankings are right now. Got to continue to improve and got to continue to get more consistent. That's been an issue. The jitters get to the freshmen, and it was very obvious versus Florida. So take a breather. You're going to an ugly city, an ugly arena, ugly. Tuscaloosa is ugly. So you're going over there. Don't just stay cool, stay calm, stay collected, and perform your best you possibly can. Just be consistent. That's all I gotta say. That's gonna do it for this time of the College Loop podcast. Of course, I'm Dylan Larck. I will take on Twitter from Instagram as well at Dylan Larck, a DYLANLARCK. And of course, if I'm around the College Loop podcast, we should like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your thoughts on the Auburn Georgia game. What's your prediction, and where do you think Auburn will finish up the season? Do you think it'll be the next championship, Final Four, Elite 8, Sweet 16, round of 32, round of 64? If this is last two, I hate you. If that's what you think. And of course, check us out right here on YouTube. Again, subscribe to the channel and check us out audio versions of the show as well on Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts, of course, Amazon Music. Now, with all that being said, I do apologize again. This is a very quick episode because it's 21 minutes, and I probably could have made this a little longer. But I am tired. It's been a week. It has been a week and a half, and it's only been 5 days. It's crazy. It's crazy out here. And of course, the back-to-back things just happening all at once. But yeah, I was just trying to get the episode up for y'all, talk some Auburn ball with y'all. And of course, don't forget, as always, War Eagle.